Corral and Capella have recorded 5 sessions of lessons and carols. I've seen the first 3; they're beautiful. They've debuted on the Calvin Institute of Christian Worship's YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Eastern, the first Sunday of Advent, and then each Sunday after that. So the final installment will be available this Sunday, and I encourage you to check it out. So, but for right now, let's get to our guests. Christy and John, welcome.
Hello.
Good to be with you, Rick. Wonderful.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here. So let's find out a little bit about how things are going to look this year, given that everything's gone virtual. So Christy, let's start with you. The January series is going to be totally virtual this year. And can you tell everyone what that's going to look like and how they can get involved?
Yeah, so we worked really hard to make it as easy as possible for everybody to join us this year, given the fact that we can't gather in large groups. So we have all the information on our website. So I really encourage people to check out the website. I know it's going to be in the chat there, the link, but it's calvin.edu/January. And if you go there, there's a description and there's a link. You need to, it's all free, but you do need to register. So we encourage you to check out our website, go to the link and sign up for that. By doing that now, you will get a reminder every day during the month of January, during the January series, and it will have the link to be able to watch the January series each day. So, so if you go to our website now, click on the Register Now button, answer just a couple quick questions. Every day, starting January 6th through 26th on those weekdays, you'll get this morning email that will come to you. It will say, here's the link for the day, join us, and you can click on that. Once again, you'll just have to answer a couple questions, your name, your email, your location, and how many people are watching with you, and then you'll be able to watch it. And the nice thing this year, because it's all virtual, is that you can either watch it live right at 12:30 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, or you can join us anytime before midnight, and that link will stay live that entire time. So people can register now on our website, get that taken care of, get that link every day, and then whatever time is convenient for you that during the day, you'll be able to watch it, which I think is really going to help people be able to tune in. I know one of the things about the January series is if you couldn't catch it at that noon time period or whatever time it is across the country, that sometimes you were out of luck. And this year you'll be able to catch it at 7 p.m. at night or something like that, right up until the end of the day.
That's great. Thanks, Christy. We'll put the link for that down below in the comments or on the side for the comments there for people to click on and get a little bit more information and get signed up so they can start getting those emails. John, the Symposium on Worship is also going to be a virtual event. Can you share a little bit about the Symposium and explain what's going to be different this year?
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to the month very much. And as with the January series, I'll start with a website. Simply visit us at calvin.edu/worship, and you'll be able to register for the Worship Symposium this year. This year, the Worship Symposium, instead of being 3 days at the end of the month, this conference will unfold over the full 3 weeks of the regular school days during January 6th to 26th. The conference, for the first time ever, is completely free of charge. Roughly half of the conference will experience in live streaming events, and roughly half the conference consists of material that's on demand, which will be accompanied by asynchronous discussion boards with people all over the world commenting on learning with additional insights or questions to continue the conversation. Several of our sessions are also linked up with the January series in good ways. But as with the January series, simply start on the website, register free of charge, and then join the learning.
That's great. So we all know that virtual events have become more normal over the past year, and I think we've all heard about Zoom. So Christy, you want to go first?
Sure. I think for me, I'm just really excited about the fact that I think we'll actually be reaching more people than ever with our audience this year, with the fact that people will be able to watch it not just at that 1 hour time period, but all through the day, but also that people can be tuning in from wherever they are. So as much as we love to have people gather in groups, and we really encourage that with our remote sites and with our on-campus facility to have people gather and be able to discuss with each other and stuff, we just know that's not possible this year. And so the fact that so many people are going to be able to join us, and it's just going to be an easy way to do it. Just to click on that link, answer those couple questions, and receive it each day sent right to your home. We really think that we're interested to see just how many people are going to be able to join us, but I think it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, are there any speakers in particular that you're excited to hear from, or that you think would be very timely, given what we're going through, those types of things?
Yeah, well, of course, it's like choosing your favorite child. I'm excited about every single one of them, but so I have to say that first of all, but a couple of them that just seem so timely. We have Danielle Allen coming, who's going to be talking about democracy and just the future of democracy. And she is just this amazing, brilliant woman who works at Harvard at think tank there, strict on things like democracy and philosophy and that. And so just in talking with her a little bit, getting prepped for January and stuff, I'm getting more and more excited about having her on the series. And then so she's on the 13th, and then on the 14th we've got Jeffrey Rosen coming, who's the CEO of the Constitution Center in Philadelphia, and he's going to be talking about the future of the Supreme Court. Again, extremely timely with all that's going on. So I think both of those, I'm just thinking, wow, that ended up working out really well that we were able to get them to join us, because those are just topics that are really on our mind right now. But so many of them, from the very beginning with Rebecca DeYoung, starting off with just soul care for the weary Christian, that she's always excellent. Every time I hear her, it's amazing. So I just know she's going to start us off with a great presentation, and then ending it with Scott Sauls, who's a pastor of a church in Tennessee, who's talking about how to handle, just kind of trying to think of the actual name of his presentation, but how to handle things well. He's got a new book out called let's see here, I gotta look again. Prophetic Fire and Persuasive Gentleness, Why We Need Both. Mm-hmm. So just how to be a good Christian human being during these stressful times. So I think starting and ending us is a good time there as well. And then on the 20th, we have Peter O'Connor, who's going to be coming to us from New Zealand. He'll be speaking from New Zealand, and he is a specialist in the arts and in dealing with healing trauma. And so again, just this year that we've been through, the importance of how arts can help us, get through that as well. So many different things that just have to do with what we've been going through this past year and what we're looking forward to in the future. I'm kind of looking forward to what's hopefully going to be getting better in 2021.
Yeah, well, and I know you have a Calvin alum and former ambassador who's going to be speaking about about pandemics. So
right.
That seems pretty timely too. So
yeah, exactly. Actually, every single day is.
Yeah, it always is. It always is. So.
That's the whole idea. So,
John, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, well, one of the joys of online engagement we experience each week with the Lessons and Carols webcast, as well as with the Gospel Choir webcast we experienced on Friday night. People commenting in live chat right during the event from all over the world, and you feel a sense of unity and kinship with so many. We experienced this in a summer event that we did too, and we're really prompted to make that a big part of our January experience. A second big advantage of this is that it allows us to travel, so to speak, all over the world. So we are going to have worship services led by communities in Singapore and Hong Kong and Cairo and Dublin and Argentina and Brazil, as well as at several universities across the United States: Dordt University, Baylor, Princeton Seminary, Fuller Seminary, Duke University. So we're going to be traveling lots of places, and the chance to experience that cultural difference, but our unity in Christ in those ways, very profound. And with the opportunity to engage with leaders in those communities, and to have this, the global church not just be an idea, but for us to be able to put that in a relational context, and then to see that global community unfold in the online learning. So with all the on-demand content, Many of the discussion board comment opportunities will allow people from all over the world to share insights or questions. And in many cases, the presenter of the material will be able to respond to those questions. And the conversation that begins on a topic related to such things as forgiveness or leadership or digital engagement or discipleship that begins on January 6th, that conversation is going to continue for 15 days. And we're eager as the Worship Institute staff to really be the kind of chief learners, see what emerges as key themes along the way. And we're also grateful for many Calvin University students who are going to be a part of that, who are already preparing now, having read some of the key books and articles by conference presenters, to join in that conversation. The whole thing's an experiment, and we're eager to see how it works. We're thrilled to have over 3,400 people already registered for the conference, many for the very first time. And we're also grateful for opportunities for high school students as well as university and seminary students to have a dedicated conversation session. So high school students anywhere can hop on and join a facilitated Zoom conversation with high school students from all over the world about their dreams for the future of the church. I'll be eager to listen in on that one.
Yeah, and I know, John, you've mentioned to me that the symposium isn't necessarily just for worship planners or leaders or people who have formal roles in the church, which I had a mistaken impression of before. And so maybe this is an opportunity too for us to invite others into the conversation.
Yeah, well, thanks, Rick. Yes, the Calvin Institute of Worship is planted at Calvin University. So naturally, we think about the connections between worship practices and every square inch of creation and culture. That's just hardwired in our DNA. And we're thrilled also for the partnership we have with the January series here. And we really think of January series leading the way in these cultural discussions. And there are 3 points during January where a speaker whom you hear at the January series will then be joining us at the symposium to continue the conversation. So we encourage Calvin alums out there, put that January series talk right in the center of your day. And then once you have your thinking stimulated by that, then hop on over and continue the conversation with us at the Worship Symposium. And again, the potential audience here, everyone.
Yeah, and that's great because I think, usually the symposium follows the January series, and this year they're going to be sort of in parallel. And so it'll be interesting to see how those conversations form each of the events that will be going on simultaneously.
Yeah, Christy and our shop, we're going to run a little contest and see how many of each other's registrants we can encourage to hop on board with the other. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the month, we're going to just have a wonderful celebration from all the learning we can share. We're looking forward to it quite a bit.
It's really going to be an amazing month of learning when you think about the richness of both programs together overlapping for all those 15 days. It's pretty exciting.
A lot of opportunities for cross promotion and to just expand each other's audiences and for everybody around the world to learn together. It's just very exciting. So.
And this will be the first year we don't have to worry about snowstorms, right, John?
Exactly. That's mighty fun too. Yeah.
Well, John and Christy, if you've seen one of our interviews before, one of the things that we often ask our guests is how their work embodies some part of Calvin's mission to equip students to think deeply, act justly, and live wholeheartedly as Christ's agents of renewal in the world. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about how each of your events plays into carrying out Calvin's mission.
Sure, I can start. So the January series mission is deeply embedded in Calvin's mission, and that is that we want to cultivate deep thought and conversations about important things that are happening in the world in order to make us better global citizens, so that we're smarter, we know what's going on in the world, and then we can act on it and be agents of renewal in the world. So we really take our mission right out of Calvin's mission and say that we should always be learning, always be thinking deeply about what's going on, and then stay informed and then do something about it. And so that's always our goal, is to pick speakers that will be teaching us these things and helping us to make the world a better place.
Indeed. Well, and likewise, I'm thinking right now of an engagement I had with a student earlier today who was really protesting the compartmentalization he experiences between faith and his life in the world. and how church practices have reinforced that compartmentalization over time. Well, we're here to take those compartments down. We're here to think about the connections and take a theme like anti-racism, absolutely essential for faithful Christian discipleship today. And yet so often, worship is a source of the problem. It's a site of perpetuating racial segregation. We need to take this on directly, discuss it, and then really lean into what God's Spirit is inviting us into. And this has to be done by people in every aspect of culture, society, but it also has to be done at the same time by people who are paying attention to church practices. So if you look at the conference themes, they connect with a lot of challenges that Christians' faith in everyday life. What does discipleship look like in this online environment? What about the trauma that we've experienced culturally? What is the real call to forgiveness and reconciliation in Christ? What about prayer life and as it relates to the deep needs of the world? So we're interested in pretty much every square inch that Christie's series covers, and then asking the question, how does the church participate in really breaking down compartments? So it's a real compatible mission, we hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just seems like an outgrowth of Calvin's mission for sure. And it's so exciting to think about these conversations and where they will lead in the new year. So John and Christy, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and we're so glad for the work that you're doing on behalf of Calvin and for everybody who's going to be participating in these events. So it's a great opportunity for us to learn together. So thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just a reminder to sign up for the scavenger hunt and to tune into the final Lessons and Carols event. We're going to be taking a break from these conversations throughout the month of January, so you have more time to engage both the January series and the Symposium on Worship. But let us know who you would like to hear from starting in February, and these conversations will continue then. Thanks, and have a very Merry Christmas.